Friday morning. I think it's like 4 a.m. probably. The winds picked up dramatically. I am freezing. I feel like I'm gonna die. I think I'm only halfway up the mountain right now. It's not easy. It's just dense bush to cut through. I have to go all the way up there somewhere. I think I'm almost at the top. I finally made it to the summit, and I'm trying to look for a clearing, but it's nothing but dense brush. I've walked around for 15-20 minutes already. There's no clearing anywhere. It's literally just brush, and this is not what I was anticipating, so finding a clearing to set up shelter is going to be a little difficult. A lot of dead trees everywhere though, so when I do find that clearing, I went that way, and there's signs of a little campsite, and someone set up a little fireplace back there, down that way somewhere, so you can see the view. But I'm gonna go check that way now, and there seems to be either an animal trail or something down here. I'm gonna follow that, see where it goes. Finally found a clearing. It's been 2.5 hours since I got here. I'm just trying to find an open spot with no widowmakers or, yeah, these guys are pretty good. So it's about 1:20. Sun sets around 6, so I have to start busting my hump. I need to get to work. Looks like I found my ridge pole. Should be big enough. Plenty big. I don't fully trust this. I just heard some kind of animal growling in the background, like kind of off in the distance, like maybe 50 yards. And it's thick brush, like I don't know what it was. I've camped in the general area, never seen wildlife or heard it. It might be a bobcat, I don't know. Has me on edge a little bit. I broke my watch. Getting another ridge pole. I didn't trust the first one, so I got a better one. This one is solid compared to the old one. The old one was kind of cracking in the middle. Oh no! Did I make it too short? Might have made it too short. Bobcat wasn't growling at the distance, I'd have a little more peace of mind, but I can't focus. I have like 3 hours left of sunlight. I don't have my shelter set up. I got this area cleared for a fire, but I don't really have wood. I got some wild animal ready to kill me out there. I had to move my bag because, yeah, ridgepole's too short. So I'll just set these up this up in the meantime. Got my shelter. Not the one that I imagined I'd be making. I was imagining some like cool wooden one. But yeah, the hike took a lot longer than I was expecting. On Google Maps, it looked like I could have drove up the 2 miles that I actually hiked and parked real close to the mountain or the hill and climbed up. But no, I walked 2 miles and then up a hill. And I really wish I brought more water than just my Nalgene. I have a gallon in my car, but yeah, that's way down the hill through the bush, and yeah, I'm not gonna make that trip. I just need to set up camp. Like what I have here works. Since it's gonna be raining and I only have the Nalgene of water, I brought a billy pot and I'm gonna catch the water. I also have a firebox, so I don't have to worry too much unless the rain like hits in here, which it very well could. Well, it's going to be raining for 3 days, so I'm going to set this tarp up to protect my campfire if I ever get to cutting freaking wood. So I'm going to set up the other side too. Good. So here it is. Camp is good. I just need firewood. I feel a lot safer with the shelter. I mean, I'll hear something creeping up on me. I'm still exposed here, but a lot less. I have about 30 minutes before sunset. So you just chop up some wood and get a fire going. So I've already burned through one battery on this trip. And it's not even nightfall yet, and I only have 2 more batteries, and I'm staying here for 3 days, or 3 nights, and 4 days technically. Yeah, this is my first solo camping trip, so it's gonna be interesting. I left a gap between the 2 tarps so the heat and the smoke won't get trapped in here and billow up, you know. I got 30 minutes before the sun sets, and I still haven't processed my firewood. And I think I'm gonna dig a hole right here underneath, or like a little further back from the gap. Ooh, what is that? Probably a root? I don't know. We'll find out. This is the densest wood I've ever had to saw through in my life. I don't know what kind it is, but yeah, it takes a long time. It's like solid. heavy. Okay. There you go. Why are you not catching? Alright. That annoys the shit out of me. So, a buddy of mine taught me to carry dryer lint. This should spark up pretty well. Catch. I know, I'm cheating. But it's dark as shit. So, I don't want to get my fire started because I'm scared of the damn bobcat that was growling at me. I don't know what.
A few moments later.
I'm just so annoyed by this. I don't think it's doing anything. There you go. Cheater. Well, gotta do what you gotta do. Oh. It's hot. Did I put it out? I think I put it out. And it warped this. Alright, everything else has failed me. Take 4. So I'm gonna use one of these. See if this will catch or not. Nope. Seriously? Dude. Whatever these trees are, they just are terrible. You don't never have to worry about a forest fire. It's just like, look, nothing. Made a breakfast burrito earlier, still haven't finished it. I don't even know what time it is. That's my watch. Oh, right. So many pockets in these pants. It is 7:20. Steak is still thawing. I'll probably be hungry around like 9 or 10. But I'll eat this for now. And it wouldn't be the complete cliche camping video if I didn't have steak. This here is chuck eye. I don't know if that's focusing or not. But for those who don't know, chuck eye is basically ribeye. The only difference is one rib. I believe ribeye is rib 1 through 5, and this chuck eye is 6 through 12, or something like that. So it's called the poor man's ribeye. You don't want to shell out the extra money for the actual ribeye. I mean, unless you're like a connoisseur, you're not gonna be able to tell. Probably a little bit more. There you go. Now I have it raised pretty high, probably like a foot. Just want to cook low and slow. Yeah, and I'm not really that hungry. I'm thirsty more than anything. It's supposed to have rained already, but no rain. So tomorrow morning, I have to either walk through the rain. Now, if it rains tomorrow, then I don't have to get water. If it doesn't rain, then I'm hiking back an hour or something to my car. Or 2 hours. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. I can't tell if those are leaves or an animal walking through the bushes. Check it out. Made myself a little makeshift fence just to deter any animals from walking in here. I'm still kind of paranoid. Got one on this side. That one's being held down by a paracord, and that one's being held together with a clamp or a clip. This side, this is just wonky. That thing will tip right over in the middle of the night and freak me out. I should tie it, or like chamfer the ends and bash it into the ground, at least. Totally forgot. Steaks are almost done. I don't even know how long they've been cooking for, but a minimum of an hour. I'm sure it's fully cooked and it just looks rare in some parts, but I can guarantee you that's cooked. Now for the moment of truth. Mm-mm. And that looks pretty pink on camera, but it's like a prime rib kind of pink. Low and slow is the only way to go. It's 2 a.m. I finally got a little bit of sleep. I fell asleep at like 11:40. Woke up. Fire was out. There are a couple coals. Brought it back to life. Or, I don't think you can see it. Probably. I don't know. It's probably in the shot. Probably not. The rain finally started, which is good, because I need water, like bad. Might be blood all over my face still. There's some on my hands. I just woke up, blew my nose, and then got like the worst nosebleed. Like someone just shot me, and it just, a pool of blood was just coming out of my nose. I don't know if that has anything to do with dehydration, but yeah. Usually bring a bunch of napkins or towel, like handkerchiefs, and that thing's just soaked in blood. It's on top of the tarp right now. Not fun. But yeah, I'm glad the rain finally started. I set up 3 water traps. I got my billy pot, and I got my cup for my thermos. Not thermos, my canteen. And I also got a bag just floating in the wind over there with that cutting board holding it open so it could, fill with water. Hopefully it rains throughout the night and I can get like something to drink, because I'm completely out. Alright, it's Thursday, day 2. It's about 5 a.m. probably, maybe 5:20. I haven't checked, but yeah, I thought the rain put out my campfire. It didn't. Turned out that thing just burned out while I was sleeping. So I went ahead and made another flint pile, or not flint pile, shavings. Alright, so I made some shavings for earlier. And this time I use a little bit of lint because this wood just really sucks. Boom. Look at that. I think it's just the wood. It went up in seconds. Oh, it's the wood. It's just crappy wood. Punky or something. It's just not burning. Whatever. Alright, so everything has failed me. fire pit's just too wet. Luckily, I brought my firebox, which I've used plenty of times. Heavy boy. Alright. Flap down. So once I get a few coals going from this, I'm going to boil some water and then maybe get the campfire started again. But until then, I'm going to focus on this. Out of the camera. Where'd you go? There you are. Where are you? Bye, dude. So this is what 4 hours of collecting rainwater in a billy pot looks like. I have not had water since 10, 11 last night, so it feels good. This has been boiled too. It's a little dark, but you know, it is what it is. Cowboy coffee. Breakfast time. Testing out the new titanium pan on my firebox. Ooh, hear that sizzle? That's a good sign. Move over. Surprisingly, the bacon's still kind of cold. Spent overnight in the cold. I saw this on Red Dead, and I've always wanted to do it in real life. still have more firewood to process. Process this one. It's like one log. It should get me through the night, but tonight's supposed to be the coldest night of this whole 3-day ordeal, I think, or maybe it's tomorrow, but pretty sure it's today. It's supposed to drop down to 28 degrees Fahrenheit, which is like -2 Celsius. All I have is my bivy, inflatable pad, and a wool blanket. And last night, it was too hot. I actually had to sleep with the cover off. It was probably like 50 degrees, which is like 20 Celsius or something. Like 18, right? Yeah, anyways. Tonight's supposed to be significantly colder. And if I was too hot last night, hopefully I'm not too cold tonight. I only wore this shirt and had the wool blanket over and pants on, but sort of had to take them off, like to my knees at least, to cool this area off. Yeah, worst comes to worst, like I didn't even have the wool blanket on me last night. Like I just had the bivy on top of me. I think maybe in the morning I eventually curled up under it because I'd have to stoke the flames, or the campfire. But yeah, worst come to worst, I'll just throw my jacket on. I should be good. I wasn't wearing my shoes or anything, which is a good sign. I'm very surprised with how warm this actually is. What's going on with this one? know, this is night 2, going on night 2, and it's raining nonstop since 10 something last night, like 10:30 last night. I'm not even sure what time it is right now. It's probably like 5. So the plan is, we got all these logs down here. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm not going to start that until the sun goes down. I'm going to move the coals in my firebox on top of those to get it going. And tonight, since it's supposed to be the coldest night of my 4-day trip, yeah, I'm going to need these logs. And tonight, since it's supposed to be 28 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's like -2 Celsius, I'm definitely going to have to climb underneath the wool blanket, but I'm definitely going to wear this jacket as well. Yeah, I'm still collecting rainwater. I'm bringing this one up to a boil so I can fill it up. This is great. I have too much food. I should have not brought so much food. Like I still have food from yesterday that I ate today. And I also have like granola, I have jerky, I have rice, I have an onion, garlic, and I don't know what to do with it. Like, I might not even get to all that. I still have bacon and sausage left over that I brought from the night before that I cooked this morning, and I cooked it and I'm saving it for tomorrow. Since it's going to be so cold, I don't have to worry about preservation because it's dropping below 40. So it's just up in my mess kit, stuck up in this tree over here. Where is it? Right up there. It's a UFO stuck in the tree. So it turns out I misspoke. Today, Thursday, October something, I don't know what the date is, tonight's not going to be the coldest night. That's going to be my last night tomorrow, Friday. I think there's going to be a 20-degree difference. I'm pretty confident that I have enough firewood. There was a tree that I took down earlier in the rain, and I wedged it in between 2 other trees so it's not laying on the ground and soaking up water. So I'm debating whether or not I should just leave that there for another time when I come here and I can continue this shelter, or like make it an actual shelter, you know, bed here. I got the ridge pole already. Might want to double up on the rope over there for raise it a little bit more. Yeah, I just wasn't ready for how long it was going to take. But now that I have a spot, you know, and if someone finds it, they find it, but it's way out there. Like, there's a trail probably 100 yards that way behind me, but you have to go through some deep brush to get over here. Like, you have to be dressed right. There's no way you can just walk through with shorts. Like, it's gonna cut your legs up. Like, these are, you know, the G1000 material. But yeah, it's way out here. But now that I know where it's at, because it took me nearly 2 hours just to get up to here, like to the summit, and then it took me like an hour and a half to find this location, because it's like right at the border of when it starts getting a little hairy. You know, if I keep modifying it and making it my own, you know, I could make a semi-permanent shelter here, and I don't think anyone would have a problem, because I haven't seen any like sites. I've seen some campfire sites probably 200 yards that way on the trail, like they're at the actual summit overlooking, I forget what city it is, but it's like in between. You can see the other city way off in the distance. It's a great view. I saw some guy left a beanie there. It was a Virginia Tech beanie. Picked it up, and there was a bunch of spider eggs, and I was like, ugh. Just dumped it. So I think I left it on top of flowers or something. But yeah, I could make this spot my own. So I'm debating whether or not I should kill that tree, or the one that I already took down. Should I chop it into firewood for tomorrow? Because just for tonight, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 2 burning already. I have a possible spare one either here or behind me. Then I got my chopping log over there. I definitely need more wood tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be dropping down that low because it's pretty cold right now. It's not super cold. Like, I can crack open my jacket and still be fine, you know? I think it's because I'm sitting next to the fire. I decided to move from the firebox and go back to the actual pit. I also put my my rain poncho over the gap. I think for future reference, I should tie this back rain fly on the top ridge pole, because there's 2 ridge poles here, so it would be like that. So the one I'm building on would be this one. I'm gonna need a good amount of wood, and then that one could always be this tarp, or actually no, that tarp's gonna be on top of the roof so it doesn't flood. I don't know. I came here with this grand idea that I was gonna just show up and make a shelter. Like, this spot's cool. Like, you could definitely camp more than one person here. Like 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 people here. Like, easy. There's room there. Possible room here. This one would suck though. Seems like the rain hits you from here. Over there is not too bad behind me, because it's It's a giant A-frame. It's probably like 9 feet across by 15, 16. It's huge. This is like an open air A-frame. Oh, they're not connected up there, so that's why I call it that. But yeah, maybe I'll just do my last night with this. Tear these down. I'm definitely gonna cut that log that dead standing tree that I found earlier. I'm gonna chop that into firewood tomorrow because it's not supposed to rain, but it's gonna be freaking cold. So I'm gonna get all the firewood out of the way. I got all my water ready to go. I got the Nalgene and the military one, the flask or whatever it's called, the canteen. Those are all ready. And I think I got more being collected by the billy pot and the canteen cup on each side of my tarp. Now you're not supposed to do that because of the waterproofing material, but I didn't have any water. I only had that Nalgene and an empty canteen. Like I was so thirsty. By the next morning, luckily it started raining and had rained throughout the night, and I had enough for half of a Nalgene, or probably a little bit less, but it just continued to rain, thankfully. Like, I'm usually not a big fan of rain, but when you're thirsty, it's a godsend, Like, see, it's pretty cold now. You can see my breath in front of this fire too, so I don't know how cold it actually is out here. But if you can see my breath in front of an open fire pit, then it's pretty cold. Well, I guess we'll be back when something happens. If anything cool happens. It's Friday morning. I think it's like 4 a.m. probably. The winds picked up dramatically. I am freezing. I feel like I'm gonna die. I think I need to turn this lean-to into an A-frame because this wind is insane. Oh. The fire's still going. But yeah. Oh crap. I'm just gonna change this. Oh God, it is cold, so cold. Just pretty good. Oh crap. Plans change, right? I don't even know if I'm in the shot. Plans change and you've got to adapt. Oh man. Oh. Come on. Where are you? Everything is soaking wet and it is freezing. Punch you out of the way. This, I'm going to bring it down. Utensils over here. All right. I'm gonna temporarily tie this up, just for now. Get move all this equipment out to this side by this tarp. Oh Christ. Alright, come on. Come on. I can do this. I can do this. Jesus Christ. Are you? I lost sensation to my fingers, my hands. It is so cold. Lower that some more. The worst A-frame tent ever, but I need shelter from the wind. It is too freaking cold. Continue. droopier side, but at least the wind's not hitting me anymore. I got this smoke pillowing through now. I wish the sun would rise, 'cause it is so cold. So just as I was about to start recording, is this on? I don't want this on. Okay. So just as I was about to start recording, the pole that I have holding up that tent, that tarp, has been blowing in the wind, so it's been slowly sliding back towards this rock. My fire reflector rock, I guess. And the wind's been really strong, so it slid over and tipped over the rock onto the campfire just as I turned on the camera. And I was heating up my coffee and it spilled, but luckily it spilled out here. I think it got on some of that log, but it's not a big deal. I'll see if I can whip this back into flames. See, this curled method just works great. Kind of like you're gonna fold an airplane, you know. Look at that. Back to life. After having coffee spilled on it. After having coffee spilled on this thing, look at that. Highly suggest everyone that does this just carry one of these. You got somewhere to cut. You got something to fan this with, and it works very well. Minimal energy compared to like blowing like that. I have a fire again, and I'm gonna brew up another cup and hopefully get to drink this one. So it's just before dawn. I think I've been up for an hour. Like 6:45 is when I woke up, and the sun doesn't come up until 7:45. Sky's starting to get light. I had seriously considered throwing in the towel last night. It was freezing. Like bone-chillingly cold. But that's because I had this as a lean-to. Now that I have wind protection on both sides, and when the sun comes up, I'm actually going to change this up to make it nice, because I don't want this hanging over this fireplace, though it keeps me really warm. I'm going to pitch up this backside a little more. I'm going to run a ridge line straight to the center point. I'm going to fold the backside over because I don't want creepy crawlies coming on me in the middle of the night for my last night. Yeah, I'm going to pull this back a little bit from the fireplace, maybe a foot, maybe a little bit more. I seriously didn't think I was going to make it through the night. The fire was starting to die. Luckily I threw this massive one of the big boy logs on there before I went to bed. Luckily there were still embers going. Yeah, I was thinking maybe I can build my shelter today. But I think that's just going out the window given how cold it is. Even if I build this wooden shelter, there's no guarantee that I'm going to stay warm. This is a for sure deal that I'm going to keep warm because I'm covered on both sides. I'm going to have to go find like 20 trees 20 dead standing trees to knock down, bring the camp, cut them all up, you know, and make a lean-to with it. I don't think that's going to happen. Just because all the trees are really weird and scraggly, like wonky shaped. None of them are straight. Would be good trees to work with. There's a few. I can see some off in the distance in the area that I don't want to go to because I heard something growl at me from that side. Like I'm right here on the border, as I said before. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. I have the spot secured already. Like if someone were to come through the bush over there behind me, they'll be able to tell that someone's been here. It's been cleared out. Like even if, I think all the leaves are gone, so this spot's gonna stay fairly clean. And if they want to camp, they can camp. I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna save it for a not so cold time, not so rainy. Now that I have this spot, like I could just come back. I'm gonna make a semi-permanent shelter. Maybe I'll bring my buddy, I don't know. Ooh, that's hot. Coffee cup 2, because part 1 failed. The wind failed me. Anyway. Yeah, now that I have this spot, I got the ridge poles up already. I just need a bed. You know, get myself up off the ground. And the next time I do a 2 or 3 day trip, I could definitely get that going. But we're in fall, approaching winter. And I don't know the next time I'm going to do it. It's fun. Really testing your limits all by yourself. Like, the threat of death is near, you know. Like, I could freeze to death. I could go to go in a shock from hypothermia. And that's what it felt like last night. 'Cause it like hurts to even do this because my nerves are still kind of frozen. But yeah, I pulled through thinking just I had to get wind protection for both sides. And it worked. And that changed the whole course of me thinking, just throw in the towel, just go down the hill and go camp at like one of the designated camp spots. And, you know, that'll be your 3 days. But that's not what I was here to do. The whole goal of this was 3 days out in the bush, just out in the wild, you know, to see if I can get water, keep a fire going, not get mauled, not freeze to death. And so far, I'm okay. Whew, that's better. So this wind has been an absolute freaking nightmare. Apparently I knocked my microphone off my camera last night. It fell because I woke up in a panic, freezing cold. And I just wanted to get the fire started, so I get up out of my bivvy, and I think my foot knocked it over and it just fell. And the mic, I don't even know if it's working. It's been rained on all night. So I'm gonna have to check and test that. But yeah, I got the tent set up now. It's so much warmer. I think the only task I have for today is to just chop wood. Saw some wood, get some logs going, at least 6 of them, and get me through the coldest night. And if last night was freezing cold, I can't imagine what tonight would be. Like, there had to be an error. There's no way last night was 40 degrees. Like, it was bone-chillingly cold. So, I got my coffee going. I'm cook up my bacon and sausage and egg. Deglazing that pan at the moment. Oh, don't tell me that's messed up. Look at that. You know, getting all the scrapings off. Breakfast, bacon, egg, sausage. Yeah, this tent, this A-frame design protects from the wind a lot better than the lean-to, obviously. And I closed off the back. I had to tie it off. I don't know if you could see that, but somewhere back there. There's a lot of excess slack. I was thinking about rolling it over, but that didn't work out too well either. The wind has been a nightmare. It's blown this off 3 times already. I had to tie it to a bush over there, that side. And that one I had to peg down twice. It's nothing but like rocks or a root or something over there. So it has not been easy. But you hear that wind? It's insanely windy. I still can't find my axe sleeve or the sheath for it, and it's driving me nuts. I guess I'll enjoy my breakfast first, look for it, start chopping the wood. Luckily I got the wood yesterday. That piece of wood hanging up in the tree, since it was raining, I didn't want it touching the ground, as you can see right there. I didn't want it to get soaked, so I put it up there, letting it dry out. So now I just got to cut that into a bunch of logs and prep for tonight. This has been a crazy experience, good and bad. Some parts I hated, some, like the overall thing so far I love it. It's pretty amazing. I never thought I'd be able to do something like this. Well, the wind hasn't died down yet. There's little scattered showers going on. I don't know if that's picking up on the camera, but see my breath? It's pretty cold. I put on the shirt that I originally came here with, which I took off as I was climbing up the mountain. Yeah. As a result of last night, I'm going to keep this one on tonight. I didn't see anything in the forecast about scattered showers today. Well, or did I? Yeah, never mind. It was supposed to rain Thursday and Friday. I don't even know what day it is anymore, but switching to this A-frame with the closed off back here, I had to tie it. But this made a world of a difference in terms of comfort. Just the protection against the wind makes all the difference. Like, I can stay out here for all week. Hey, a plane. How rude! We're trying to film. God. It sounds a lot closer because I'm at the top of a mountain. But the wind's going crazy, as you can see. But there's protection against it and the rain. I'm thinking about putting a poncho in the front right here, very top. Just putting a poncho at my door, my rain poncho, but I'm not sure how I'm gonna work it. One option is to untie the hoodie, or untie the top, put my hoodie in between through the string, tie it off, and then lay it out front. But then I need something to weigh down the door so it doesn't fly away. I could tie some rocks or something to it. That might work. But I'm scared that the poncho is gonna fly into the fire. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner. I have a summer sausage. It says refrigerate after opening, and I haven't opened it yet. Another plane. I seriously haven't heard a plane this entire time that I've been here. This is going to be night 3. I don't even know what time it is. You become so disconnected with the world doing this. It's freaking wild. It's only 1. It almost feels like the sun's setting already. It's not. It's only 1 in the afternoon. So I think I gotta prep a few more logs for. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 logs. Up. And here come the scattered showers. I could prep the logs underneath the tarp. The temperature is dramatically colder than it was yesterday around this time. Maybe it's the wind coupled with the rain, but it is really cold. Hopefully it doesn't drop any more, like no more than 10 degrees more than this. I got all my wood ready to go to burn hard and long throughout the night. I even set up my rain poncho as a door That way I only have that much space for cold air to come into. So far, so good. And for dinner, early dinner, I threw some beef jerky, some onions, and some garlic up in here. And then just some regular white rice. So throw it all in there together. So I went ahead and chopped more firewood because it's better to have a bunch of firewood and not need it versus needing it and not having it. So here's the old wood that I prepped. There's some new ones, some stragglers. They're still kind of wet. You can see how much it's like seeped in there. A lot of it. So it'll still burn. It's really dense. Solid on the inside. Still dry. See, like some of these were like that. Like those smaller ones were wet. I think this guy was wet and he's starting to burn. Some deer. I think it was a whitetail I saw. Damn, that thing was huge. Oh, tonight's the last night that I'm here. Hopefully that whitetail doesn't come trouncing into my area and stomping all over my place, but I don't think I have to worry. Yeah, that thing was massive. It's my last night. 12 more hours or something and I'm out of here. Yeah, I didn't want to do a redo of what happened last night, but, you know, then again, I don't have that lean-to shelter anymore. It's an A-frame. I actually set up my rain parka as the door here. And I have a clip that I used to hold my map in my backpack shut, holding this on one side, and then I bushcraft one. Yeah, it was just a failed bow drill that, you know, you cut into the tip, like down the center and split it down. I just used that to pinch that together. Yeah, I came here with bigger ideas, like I wanted to make this an actual shelter, but I didn't take into account anything. So yeah, things just went sideways at every corner and things just took a lot longer than I thought. Like just coming up the mountain took 2 hours alone. You know, like the way I planned this out in Google Earth and some other map website, like my plan was to drive to the base of the mountain and only have to climb the mountain. But yeah, wasn't that? I had to park at the road, hike 2 miles before I got to the base of the mountain, and then go up the hill, straight through dense brush, which I don't think anyone's gone through, except for like deer. And then eventually I reached close to the summit, like this rocky point, and there were stacked rocks on top of each other. And I was like, okay, that's human signs there, like human life has been here. And then once I got past that little rocky area, there were little blue tape markers. So I was like, okay, I'm headed the right way. But I don't know where the path was to get up there. I wish I did. It would have made life so much easier. Maybe if I continue down the trail, who knows? I took the idiot's way up. Saw a lot of cool stuff, but it was painful. But yeah, I regretted not bringing extra water on my persons. I left it in my car, like 1 big gallon. And by the end of the first night, I was banking that it was going to rain the next day because I looked at the weather. So I thought either it's going to rain tomorrow and I can collect rainwater, or I'm going to have to hike all the way back just for some water. And I came here with 1 bottle, my Nalgene full, and I'm leaving with my Nalgene full, and well, this isn't full anymore, but my canteen was full earlier today, so I'll have more than enough water when I get back. Yeah, even though I didn't get to build that shelter that I wanted to, I still have a spot now. Like, I've located an area, I've tilled the ground a little bit, I made a little fire pit. Like, I don't think this has been inhabited by people up here. Like, I think this was just like a deer spot. It was just a clearing. It had to be like a deer spot, and that's why I saw a deer earlier. But, you know, I made it a human spot. I slept here for 3 days, or 3 nights, and yeah, I saw that whitetail earlier. Had to be. It was really tall and sounded really heavy. I just saw its behind as it walked through the brush. But anyways, I've cleaned and cleared out the ground with the shovel, and I just moved all the leaves out. I made the clearing a real clearing, so I can come back here next time, because I have a ridgepole set up. I have 2 of them. So now that I have my spot down, I can go find all the wood that I need, come back, process it, and then build that shelter. And maybe I could actually get it done in the day that what was originally planned. You know, I was expecting to come up here and do it all in one day, and it doesn't happen like that. Especially like if you have to go against time and weather. Like right now, like my breath is just coming out because it's cold. But I got a fire going right out there that might need a log, but I'm gonna put a bunch of logs on it. I cut so much firewood today, and you know, I don't want a repeat of last night. It was the coldest I've ever been in my life. This is my first solo camping trip. I've never been camping alone. And on top of that, I'm on top of a mountain all by myself, where I haven't heard any signs of people. I heard a dog barking, but that might be like a trail the next hill over, because there is a trail over there. But I haven't heard people. What I think are cars right now is just the wind. And it's pretty weird, because like I grew up in traffic, like hearing traffic pass me by and trains and stuff, like in a very urban environment. But being out here around nothing and just hearing that wind gust come through the trees, it sounds just like the traffic. But I went from wanting to throw in the towel to feeling great. I could go on another day if wanted to, but my plan was 3 days, or 3 nights and 4 days, and I accomplished that because it was Wednesday through Saturday. Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday. Yep. So in the morning, I'm gonna pack up and just get out of here. I don't know how early. I don't sleep too well to begin with, but I might, because the situation right now, like this A-frame setup, it's closed off. I closed off this side. I got the heat from the campfire sort of billowing in because there's a lot of wind today. The heat gets picked up and comes in here. So it's not that bad, even though you could see my breath. You could see my breath yesterday too, but I prepared for the worst because I only turn on my phone in the morning to send out a text message if it goes through to my sister to tell her, hey, I'm alive, phone off. Or I'll check the weather for a second. So the other night I said it was going to be 28 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what, -2 Celsius. So the forecast said it's 26, so it's -4 Celsius. Yeah, it's supposed to be super cold tonight, but with this current setup, blocking myself against the wind, having a good fire going, having all the logs chopped and ready to go, that way I don't freak out. I don't think there's any rain, it's just gonna be cold. I feel good. Super cloudy, or misty, foggy. Great way to end a trip. Full moon, spooky ass woods. So it's still kind of chilly, so what I'm gonna do is heat up this room with my firebox for a little while, up until the temperature in this tent heats up. So my plan is working out pretty well. I don't think the heat's rising enough to do any damage to this up here. It's definitely heating up the airspace in here. I love this firebox. Alright, I'm packed up, ready to go. I just need to tear down these tents and roll up my bivvy. Morning's arrived. And it's so cold. And when I pulled out my tent stake, the rope was standing up. I did it. 3 nights, 4 days, I did it. Last night was insane. Look, everything's frosted over. Yeah, I guess I'll have more words in the car or something, but I feel good. Summit. So I made it off the mountain to the clearing at the base. This is where I thought I was able to drive my car to. So this trail back there is 2 miles to the car. Yesterday I hiked up that way, I think. I ended up some wonky way and then through the brush. And then today, when I came back, I came down the hill and there's a trail that way. So, for future reference, go that way. Take a left at the clearing.